Only details about who James Brown was are coming out after his death.
But even neighbors say they had no idea the man in the sketch was living right down the hall. Chris Sadeghi is live with some of the things we've learned about Brown. Chris?
Well, most of what we're hearing is coming from former co-workers, but Brown lived in this area where Esme Barrera was murdered, where those sketches were posted on just about every tree and light pole, yet somehow he managed to stay largely out of sight and out of mind. They were told they had nothing to worry about, but Mark Houghton says people who lived at this complex knew there had to be something.
With, crime scene vans coming, people were definitely curious what was up.
Thursday, they finally found out why, and people like Mark, who lived 5 doors down from the apartment under investigation, started pressing rewind.
And I, tried to think back all the times walking in and out.
Once news spread, employees at this IHOP on Cesar Chavez say Brown was their co-worker. When we asked the manager, he said he couldn't comment since it was an ongoing investigation. Part of that investigation now is looking at Brown's possessions to find out more.
I can just tell you that any electronic involving this individual is being looked at.
If there were any warning signs, they were hard to see, even with those signs hanging all over the neighborhood.
It didn't cross my mind that anyone remotely resembling that face lived in this apartment complex.
Police say Brown was former Navy and had been in Austin for a year and a half. Neighbors who recognize this face think he'd been here for about 6 months, a short walk from where Esme Barrera was killed, and a literal hop, skip, and jump from Mark.
It feels more surreal than anything.
Now, we talked to a former co-worker of Brown's at IHOP, and she said that he was very polite, very talkative, a very hard worker, and never gave signs that anything was suspicious about him, with the exception of one incident that now, in hindsight, looks a bit odd. Tonight at 10 o'clock, hear from that co-worker, hear what that incident was, and also hear more details about Brown. For now, we're live in Central Austin. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
Chris, thanks. Online right now at KXAN.com. We've set up a timeline of all of the attacks. You can see it for yourself. Just look under the Top Stories tab.